Hey beauty, what's up? We are trying all new makeup today. Really thankful that you're here because hanging out with you just makes me really happy. And I know sometimes that sounds weird because you're like, we're hanging out, but then you're not really here. But I know who you are. And we're always in the comments together and in the DMs, which low-key, you are wild. In the DMs, so much fun. Just some good girl chats. So it makes me excited. But the collective is really cool too because the membership there, we get to have live content with each other and then you get to join in on the screen with me. And so that's hosted through Instagram. And I love having a community there because we get to know each other even more. And it makes me really happy. And I'm glad you love it too. So yeah, that's always perks when you love it just as much as I do. But today we're trying out all my new makeup finds. We are putting them to the test. Are they as good as people say they are? What do I think of them personally? But I love the Kerastase dry shampoo. It is really good. It's refreshing dry shampoo, vitamin E rich. It is rich, honey, rich. It just smells good. And I want to use the word yummy. That is a new word that I'm using a lot in my vocabulary recently, describing a lot of things that I like. If it's food, body care, makeup, clothing, I'm like, it's yummy. Anyways, I can't shake it, so it's here, and I guess it's staying. But I love the Kerastase. The only thing about it, I'll have to rate it, honestly, a 9 out of 10, is because I wish it came in brunette. Now, it might, and I just don't know yet. But it really can leave a white residue if you're not careful. And I'll just kind of give you like an example. A little bit of like a dust. Then when you do that, it goes away and you don't know that it's there. But that would be my only rating of why I would give it a 9 out of 10. That's it. But otherwise, it is fabulous. This smells good. It absorbs any oil very quickly. You brush it through, you have no idea. This is a good refresh. I like that. But this is newer to me for a little while. But testing out new products, you guys. Boom, try Kerastase. Check them out on Instagram. You'll find out all the tea and you'll be able to know exactly what you want to get for yourself. But that is it. I have been loving Fenty Face Primer. If you're not using Fenty Face Primer, I don't know what you're doing. You can get the mini. You don't have to get the full size. I'm a big fan of the mini product. Y'all know I will buy a mini first and I want to test drive it. See how I like it. The chair is still squeaking. It's last on the totem pole over here. So yeah, I'm like sitting here moving in my chair. I think I need to put 2 legs down and like hold my legs still so I don't squeak. Oh, that made it better. Something about this that gets my skin so happy. They have a soft matte. They have a silk. They have more of a luminous one. Like, it's just good. It feels like this really luxurious serum on your skin, but it's like moisturizing, but it just like is butter. It's so wild and it works really well. You can see I'm a fan. Tested that years ago and I was like, dang. So I think for like 2 years I've really been using it consistently and I always go back to it. I can't go without it. It's always in my makeup case. New find that we want to test out is the Halo Glow foundation from e.l.f. I'm like a fan of all of their products, no kidding. So this e.l.f. foundation is fabulous. It's a doe foot. It's a large doe foot. It's too large. It's out of control. I don't love that about it, but I'm not mad at it anymore. At first, I was really annoyed. I was like, I want to pump and squirt my foundation. Please stop playing with me. It is trying my life over here. But now, girl loves it. Look at me. I'm just having a heyday. I'm like, I might be able to use this as a blender. Who stinking knows? The glow booster that I have for radiant skin. So that is probably why I am a dry girl. I cannot do matte everything. Now, summer, full on summer mode for sure. I'm cool with that because, you know, you sweat and I'm like, I can't be dewy and sweaty. I'm not doing that. But this right here, this color matches my complexion really, really well and I've not done any blending. This shade is shade 3.5 medium. Get that at Tesco. The only con I have with e.l.f. is that you can't test it in the stores. I said it and I'm annoyed by it. 100% annoyed by it. So if it went off of ratings of testing it in the store, I would give it a 0. I would give this foundation for sure a 9 out of 10. I don't know why I'm feeling a 9 today, but the doe foot, I want the option. Maybe a doe foot plus I could squirt it. I guess I could pour it, but man, that would be messy. the foundation is foundationing. It's good, y'all. It is so good. I love it. This definitely gives a dewy look. So if you don't like dewy, get the matte. But it is really, really radiant. I'm happy with it. The color matching is fabulous. It says it's infused with squalene and hyaluronic acid. For sure, worth every penny. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with concealer. I was very shook by this, but I've used a lot of concealers, and the new find to me that I want to test out with you is the Kylie concealer. Kylie Cosmetics has done something right through and through. They started with the lip kits. I am obsessed with them. As you know, if you're new here, this is new to you of me saying that, but I am a fan of the lip kit for sure. But I love her concealer. It's a very thick formula, so it definitely has some weight on it, and I like that. The shade that I'm using is 4WN, and the one that matches me really well, and it just, you can see, like, there's thickness to the product. That's what I need. I like to put the concealer on just like this, and I let it sit, and the lightest concealer I use is 2.5N. So I use one that matches my skin tone, which is 4WN, and then I use the 2.5N that is like 2 shades lighter than my complexion. And you can definitely see the difference. I'm going to take the lighter one and just do a little dabble, and then I take it a little bit down the nose. The longer I let it sit, then it's true to be more of like a thicker, overall fuller coverage to me, and that's what I personally need. The thing I love about this solution that they have formulated here is that some concealers, if you let them sit too long, it is like concrete. You can't move them. But these are still very movable, which I love. So when I went to test this out, I was like, man, I like the thickness. Like, I like the consistency of it. This looks like it's going to be a beautiful concealer. Awesome. Check, check, check. Then I got home and I was like using them, and I was like, okay, they dry down fine. Like, they're not like concrete yet. Great. And so that is something that sticks out to me about this formula, is that I can still work with it. And it makes me very happy about that, because I've gotten to the point now, I sometimes just want a quick, simple look, but I still need coverage in some areas, and this is going to allow me to get that coverage that I need. So while that's drying down, I like to go in with my next product, and we kind of infuse these together. I am loving the Drunk Elephant product. This Drunk Elephant is, woo, magical. Now, I have tried to find this. I probably haven't tried hard enough, but I've been to Ulta several times, and e.l.f. is always sold out of their bronzing drops. So I haven't gotten them yet, but I definitely want them, and I'm sure I'm going to love them. But as of right now, we're using this one. This one also is the cocoa one, so it's a lot darker. This is not their deepest one, but maybe this is their deepest one. Is it their deepest one? I think it might be. But what I do with this one is that I put it on the back of my hand, or I put it directly on my beauty blender. So we're going to take my blender right here. They are dirty, and I did not wet them. So I am a rebel today. I just kind of place them in these areas just to give my skin some warmth. And then I like to go in and I just blend everything together. I will have to go back in with my concealer. Now, that is something I will tell you, you will want to do. Once you put on concealer one time, it's not a one and done. It's a process, you know? So put it on, blend it, see what happens. Put some more, let it set, then set it with a powder, you know? It's a process. So we're going to blend this all in, see what we're getting at. And yeah, I'm excited for you to see it because it's a good one. You can see I kind of blended the bronzing drops first. Then I'm going to go back in with my other blender, and I'm going to go ahead and do the areas that need to be blended with the concealer. And I do the one that like matches my skin tone first, and then I'll go and blend the lighter one. So especially right here, I have just like this little spot. Girl, this week I am calling an office, and I'm going to have laser done in my face. I'm getting it done. I don't know if it's happening this week, but I'm going to be calling about scheduling it. And I'm going to get these areas zapped. I keep noticing videos. There's a lot of estheticians, and they'll do treatments and peels and things like that, but I want them zapped. I'm not playing around anymore. Zap them, call it a day. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be like, come back 3 or 4 times and get it done. We're gonna figure out how to do it. Zap, 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 you know? Anyways, that looks good. Now we're gonna blend right here. Y'all, these are the only areas that have like the discoloration, and it's so aggy. What word do you say a lot? That's what I'm wondering. What are the words that you use a lot in your vocabulary that people are like, they put their brow up? You know what I mean? Aggie is one for me. And the second new word is yummy. I just don't see it going anywhere. Okay, now we're going to blend out the one that is lighter and that's going to brighten the skin tone. Even with not wetting the Beauty Blender, this particular brand, it still has a lot of movement and it's a beautiful blend. So just note to self, it is about the brand of blender that you use. Some of them you can't not wet them, like they just are like hard, like a brick on your face. So just be aware of that. I use the Beauty Blender brand with my blenders. So that is all blended. Look at that. That is e.l.f. foundation, Kylie concealer, 2 shades, and obviously primer to help get the face in check, and skincare. Now I'm a 10-10 when it comes to skincare. I want good skincare. I want my skin to feel good, exfoliated, all the things, hydrated, all the serums and all the richness going on to my skin, because I'm a skin girl. I want my skin to just like showcase itself a lot. Just because I don't want to have to put on a face every day. Personally, I like my face to just like be healthy. So yeah, that's the tea on that. So that feels really awesome. The next thing that we're going to be testing out together is the MAC. This is the paint pot. It is fabulous. And I just take my finger here and get some right there. And then I take this right now on my eyelids, and I just take it from the lash. Whoa, you can definitely see. This actually works as a shadow and a concealer. It dries down very matte-like. One thing I do notice about it though, just probably because of my eye shape, so if your eyes do have a little bit of creasing, it will crease on you. So just like be very cautious of that, and just take your finger in a minute over top of it again, and you can just soften that up so it's not crazy. Always have a cloth with you handy as well. I have these makeup cleansing cloths, which are awesome. Erase your face, it says. How cute. And they're so great to have like in your makeup bag. So, and this one's adorable. This one came from just like a little checkout area of like a little home store. So we're going to go into a new find to me too. This is the Tarte palette, this beautiful black leopard. How cute is it though? It's really beautiful and pretty. And we're just going to go in with some pretty shades today and play around. I haven't used all the shades in the palette yet. I still want a very classy eye, but I do really love to kind of sometimes put like a shimmer all over nude on my eyelid with my finger, and then I'll go back in with brushes, you know. So we're just going to play around and test these out together right here on the lid, just to have a really pretty pop. Right? And I go back in with like a softer matte, no shimmer or anything in it, just something that's gonna like match my skin complexion, something that's not gonna fall out and be messy. Then I would definitely get a Tarte palette. I've been very, very pleased. Every time I open this up and I'm like, dang, I should use this more often. And then I'm just gonna go in with another lighter shade here in the inner corner and just kind of soften that up. And they're easy to blend. Like that is something I have found, is the blending power of these are really nice. And I go back in with a good blender. You want to have something that's gonna like blend all over. So when I just go in with like a really good neutral, that makes me happy. So like right here, that really pretty brown toffee looking shade. It is so cute. And then I just take it really soft back and forth in these areas, and it frames the eye. It just sets everything back, and the wearability of these are really pretty. I'm gonna do some plucking on these brows, but I don't want to do it, so I'm not gonna do it. Cute, right? Obsessed. Then I love to go in with a slanted brush just like this, and I'm gonna take it in a darker black, and we're gonna end up doing a little bit of color like right as our liner. So we're gonna just add this here. And I tell y'all a lot, I will definitely go in with shadow to create an eyeliner. So we're gonna test this out together, see what we think, and definitely, you know, give it a good rating, because, oh Ooh, baby. That is nice. And then you can take that slant, get it really good in that inner part right there. Whoa, I love that. I love it. Okay, that got a little bit thicker over there. Not as thin as this one, like I love it. But this one's really good. It's really, really good. You can clean that up too with concealer or foundation. So you can kind of shut your eye a little bit, brush it with another thin brush, not the one you just did, because then it's just gonna be like crazy messy. And just take it out a little bit, like under that line. You want to follow under the line so you can kind of like clean it up, you know? And that definitely thin that one out more. And then you can go back and deepen it up. I want to go back though with some color. So I'm going to go in with this really beautiful plum here and just like give it a little pop of color over top of that black. And we'll just see if we can do something there. Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. I love that. Okay, so big fan, big fan. Hey, I want to take a little quick break right here. Yeah, full face is done as you can see, but I want to thank you so much for being here on my channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're into this type of content and like just having a good time, being a girl's girl, learning about all the new makeup things, and honestly, just being real. I love you. Let's get back to the rest of the video. Now, I'm going to put this one away, but we are going to kind of dab back into it because I do want to get a little bit underneath my eyes. But first, I do want a tight line, and I'm just going to go in with a brown. This is from Huda Beauty. So, the first time I used this, testing this out, I was like, stop playing with me. Like, stop playing with my heart. Stop playing with my heart. Because I was like, this is really good. Is this like a fluke or whatever? No, it's here to stay, and it's so nice. I was like, no, stop it. It was so, so good. So I love using a brown in my tight line. I'm a big fan of it, and it works really good. This does not transfer, so that is one thing I noticed when I did use it, is that the transfer wasn't there. And that's the messiest look you can ever have, is for anything to just like, whatever you put on your upper part, you don't want it on your lower necessarily. It's just too messy. So I have found like, whoa, this is actually working really, really well. So I like to tight line first, and then we're going to go underneath and play with that shadow. I want to take more of a finer brush, just something that's a little bit more like controlled, you know? So when you're doing any shadow underneath your eye, you definitely want to have more control over it. So I'm going to go in with a deeper brown like we did earlier, and I'm just going to take it and pat. I don't swoosh it underneath there. I just kind of pat it underneath the eye. I mean, it is such an art, you know? And growing up, I would take, and I would say like my young adult years, I would just take days where I would just be like, let me play in some makeup today. And I would watch a video, I would look at a picture in a magazine, I would look at pictures on Pinterest, and I would just recreate it. And honestly, the ones on Pinterest, it's not like they're telling you everything that they're using, but it's the inspiration for me. And I would take it and I'd be like, yes, I'm going to take that. And that's when you truly know, like, you have this gifted art type feel. So if that's you, I want to know, like, are you that one you can just look at an image and create it? Or are you like, I need to know play by play? You know what I mean? And a lot of y'all are play by play here on my channel, which I love, because being able to walk you through the whole makeup routine is everything. But then I just take that lighter shade of brown that we did earlier, and I just kind of sweep it right in that inner corner just to still carry in that shadow. And then I'm going to take the brush that I did for the eyeliner, if I can find what where did I lay it down at? There it is. And I'm going to take a little bit of the plum. Like, I'm not going to take the black. I don't want it too dark. And I just want to take it right in the corner here. That outer corner. Ooh, that's magical. That is so cute. So cute. And that makes my hazel eyes pop so much. So much. And then I just kind of dust it a little bit on that lash line. I love it. And you can really see that color too kind of stand out. But that's so cute. Another product we're going to test out together is the e.l.f. powder. So this is their translucent. So it is the setting powder, and it is wonderful. So it says right here on it, light pink, which is very funny because it doesn't seem like pink at all to me. Like, it's just like, I mean, it is a faint pink, but it like goes on very white. And I have actually been loving the poof that e.l.f. has as well. And I will just kind of take it right here. I like to pat right in the product itself a lot of times. And then I'll take it in the cap, and then I'll kind of give it a little press down and a little swirl. And then we'll start applying. So I already had the concealer on and things like that, you know. So that's a good thing. So we're going to just take it here in the inner part of between the brows, kind of that number 11, you know, that's very frustrating. And then we're going to take this right under the eye so I get really deep in that inner corner. And then I just pat underneath because I just want everything to have some stay. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. Just pat it. I'm not blending or doing anything crazy yet. And then we're going to do the same thing, chin. And then I will tell you my number one thing that I'm obsessed with is I take it. I didn't even do concealer here yet because I can get enough of the look with the powder. But I take it right here and I just brush it into my lip. Okay. And I kind of keep re-dipping. And you can pat it if that makes you feel better to get more of that line. But you can also just kind of wipe it, you know? So I do that because that really helps me with my structure of my jaw, like as I'm doing my makeup. So I just do that, and now this is when I'm like, okay, do I need more concealer? You can go back in with Kylie's concealer if you want to, but I want to test out something with y'all that I am obsessed with. I am truly obsessed with Haus Labs. I really am. It is so good, and I have been wanting to go back and get more and more and more, but the Sephora that carries it is like 45 minutes for me. So it's not very close. Because the Sephora at Kohl's that's close to me does not carry all of the collection. Actually, they don't carry any Haus Labs actually, now that I say that out loud. I'm like, why did I even say that? They don't even carry it. But I do need more. So I kind of take it right here on the discoloration. That's it. And then I let that sit before I powder anything else in. And then I'm just like now doing mascara and some things like that. So we're going to now go in and test out a new mascara together. Oh, and by the way, just to give you a little review too on Haus Labs, it is full of skincare. It's infused with over 20 ingredients of skincare. Their foundation is 10 out of 10. Concealer is a 10 out of 10. It is amazing. I will always go back and get it. I'm such a fan of it, with or without makeup, to touch up and do whatever. And it's very easy to work with. I always like a product that's easy to work with. So this is something that we're going to go in now and talk about mascara. I have two things I'm going to use. So I have the Lykins, which is the lash primer. And then I have a new mascara to me, which is the Essence mascara. And I have some feedback on the Essence. So we're going to get into that. But first, I really want to go back and get a full size of the Lykins. But every time I go, they don't have a full size of the lash primer. And so, anyways, we're going to get into it though. And we're going to go ahead and prime the lashes because I think that this might make a difference. That's why I'm doing this today. I don't always do a lash primer, but the Essence mascara, I think is going to need it. And I'm not sure if it was that or the eyeliner I did the other day. So we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to be open and honest about my review. Lash primer goes on white though, but you can see the white lashes. And then you can do a little bit on the bottom. I don't always do the bottom. But I did this mascara and it bled and made a mess. And I don't love that. And I don't like a waterproof mascara either. So I'm like, was it this though? Or was it my eyeliner? Because I did the Urban Decay 24/7 eyeliner in my waterline. And I'm like, but was it that kind of smudge? Or was it mascara that was smudging? So we're going to find out today with the primer and see. But I actually liked how it went on. I just didn't like the results later in the day. I was like, why are my eyes so dark? I didn't even do anything. I wasn't sweating outside. And even if I was, I want to put on my makeup and I don't want it to go anywhere. And I have some bulletproof makeup that definitely will do that. But as we're just testing out products today and talking about it, I wanted to be honest with you. This was like $4.50 though. I'm like, I ain't mad at it. It's $4.50. So, you know, but look at that. It just creates like a false lash type look. And these just give like this spidery type effect. Like you can see, you know how long, look how long they are. Whoa. So it definitely gives a falsy type appeal, you know, which is nice. Now I go back in with a brush and I'm just going to blend the powder all over. And I know I have the concealer and kind of in those spots. So I just kind of take a brush and I just wipe the translucent powder that I had on around, just to make sure like I'm not having chunks of powder. Then after I wipe that, I'll go back with my blender and I'll just pat because it's had time to sit. And that was the House Labs over it. Look at that full coverage, like sickening. It is sickening. And then I just kind of take it and put it all over the areas that have a little bit more discoloration. And then I will take my brush inside the powder that I was using, and then I'm just going to pat on that spot. I don't want anything to pick it up, and then I'm just going to let that sit for a minute. And then the next thing that I do is add more warmth to my skin. We are going to go in and test this out together. Now I've only used this a handful of times, and the times that I used it I wasn't mad at it. So it's actually really nice. So this is from Revolution, and I'm trying to think if there's a color name to it. Kind of like the medium shade that they have. And we're going to just put this on. So what I love to do with this is I haven't contoured or done anything today yet. And I really didn't have full intentions to do that, because sometimes my bronzer can give that effect. And that's what I think I'm going to play off of today. So we're going to go in right now, and I kind of squeeze my brush a little bit. And then I take it, like when I squeeze it, and I just kind of like do this number with it and like kind of pat it, because I don't want to brush like this. I really want this to stay lighter just because it really helps with the structure of my jawline. And so I just kind of take it just like here, and then I go up into the temple. Boom, just like that. You see the warmth there? Like now you see it, you know, big difference, right? And then I take it right there, do the same thing on the jaw. Now that it's placed, I add a little bit of pressure and I just kind of like push it in, you know? Do the same thing around the jaw. If you go too dark with this bronzer, it's gonna look muddy, and that's not the look that you obviously wanna have, but it definitely warmed up the skin. Now this is when I go back and I can just add some depth for contour. And after I do that, I'll just blend it through. That was the Halo Glow Beauty Wand Contouring, and this was Medium Tan from e.l.f. It's really, really, really good. Still 9 out of 10 though. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I'm stuck on my 9s today, but it's because I have to store it like this with the bottle cap up, because otherwise it will leak if it's like this. It gets really, really messy. But anyways, other than that, I love it. So I think that that definitely could be fixed with packaging. But, you know, some things leak. We can't help it. I'm not mad at it. I will still get it. But it's just warning. Just flipped my blender around. And I'm just getting the areas that need to be blended a little bit more. Just to kind of, because you want the illusion that there's shadows. But you don't want like, it looks messy, you know, and dirty. Test out the e.l.f. blushes. How do I feel about these? These are the putty blushes. They are good. I was shook. Just take my blender just like this, and it's a little messy. And then I take it all right here on the high points. I want it up in that hairline, and then I go down a little bit right here. So I just kind of keep it up in this section. And then if you want more fullness and roundness, which sometimes I do to my face, I want more of like the apples. But I just take it right here, and then I flip this kind of on its side, and then I start taking it around and blending it, so then some carries down, you know? But it's really beautiful. It blends nice. It's wild how they can make such affordable product work really well though, you know? So sometimes the high end, just because you pay high dollar doesn't mean it is gonna be better. And now it's just my eyebrows. So I have recently been breaking all my own rules, and that's brows, and I'm just going in last. I'm trying to live in this space where I'm like, I spent a lot of money getting my brows done. Love your brows, Amber. And so it doesn't mean you have to go in first and make them so perfect. So I just go in last. They are already microbladed, That's not news to anybody unless you're new here. And then I just go in and I perfect a little bit of the brow hairs just to create that finished part, you know, of the whole face. Brush it through. Wow, that was really deep. And I use the color Dark Drapes, and it's so good. It just gives like a finished look. Just because your brows are microbladed doesn't mean you don't need product. You know what I mean? Ooh, that is fabulous. Look at those brows. That helped because they just look lighter and they needed to be a little perfected. The next thing I want to do is lips. I always like doing a liner, but Polite Society, hello. I went to Ulta. I just got this last week and I've used it like a handful of times. And every time I use it, I'm so happy with the results of it. So we're gonna do a really pretty pinky liner. We're gonna take the liner and I'm gonna kind of droop it in a little bit. I'm not gonna take it all the way out. Like kind of like make it more rounded. There's a fuzz on it. Just rub that with this one and oh, amber, too much. And then I like to take my finger. It has a really great rich feeling to it. Look at that color. That is so gorgeous though. I am obsessed with it. So I have the Stila lip liner. Let's test this out together. So it's a waterproof liquid eyeliner. And it's just a really pretty brown like you can see here. But if you take your lips like this and then you want to create that line, you know, like that. So that gives you more of like a pout. Do we like that? That's so weird, right? In person though, I think it's too dark of a color because I can see the brown, but to you, you probably can't really see it. That worked. That's wild. But look. You know, you can see that, but like for pictures, come on. Makes it look more pouty. That's crazy. Okay, I am gonna also take this on my little what do you call them? Beauty marks. That's what they're called. I have one right here. Cute. Where else do I have them? Where else are they? I think those are the only 3 I have, and they're literally right there. That's like the stars aligning on my face. That is so fun. Ooh, I love fun stuff like that. Ooh, I love makeup. I love it. Okay, we are gonna put some earrings on. These are so cute, and I thought they'd be so pretty because of my lip color today, and I was like, ooh, I want to do that color on my eyes. Ooh, that'd be so cute. Okay, my next things, we're gonna test these out together. This is from Victor and Rolf. I know it's tiny. Don't make fun of me. The larger one, I couldn't bring myself to spending another $160, $50 on it. I was like, I can't do it. Because I had already gotten the larger Daisy in Love by Marc Jacobs. It's so pretty. This is Daisy Love. This is Paradise. And it's a limited. This is not around a lot. I just found that out too when I bought it in the store. They were like, whoa, this actually just came out and it is not going to stay. And I'm like, what? I have to have it. That's why I got the full size. But this one right here is richness. You smell it, makes you feel like, you know what I'm saying? When you see something cute, you're like, whoa. But when you smell something, you're like, what are you wearing? Like, it just makes you do that. It's so nice. The only downfall is the minis. I don't like the little squirt out thing. I'm like, can I just have like a little roller? So we're just going to do that. Oh my gosh. It smells so divine. But this is called Flower Bomb. Anyways, Victor and Ross Flower Bomb. This is a mini. I'm going to go get the full size soon when I can bring myself to it. I'm like, I just got a lot of things. And yeah, I'm not going to get all that today. But I was like, ooh, minis. Y'all know how I feel about minis. I'm like, give me the mini. And they had like a deal. It was like 2 for $17. I gave one to Olivia and I kept one because we were shopping together. And I was like, girl, you need this too. It's so good. And hers is Good Fortune. And Olivia actually turned me on to it. Low-key. She was like, oh, this smells so good. And I smelled it and I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? Why is it just now coming to my like life? How did I not know about it? And she was like, yeah, I don't know. Where have you been? but it was right there and we got it. We were so excited. And then Marc Jacobs, Daisy and Love, all that collection. I love all of them. You know, I just sent an email out to my beauty insiders. It actually goes out this evening. So if you're not on my email list, make sure you're on it. But I'm talking about fragrances, and I spray fragrance now all the time. It is before bed, on my pillowcase, on my sheets, on my person. Like, I want that too, you know? In my spaces, I like candles. I have warmers, and I have the things that just make this great yummy aroma in the home, especially in my like beauty place and my places to relax. I'm just loving it. And my experience starts with like a shower routine, bath routine, and it just carries on until the evening and then in the morning. And then when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I just smell good. Like, things just smell good, and that really triggers a thing in my body to go like, I'm in a good mood, you know? Just makes me really happy. So we have really instilled that in our home. And then with my children, they have a whole routine too, and they have like their sprays and things that make them happy. So it's not about covering up a yucky smell, it's just creating your smell. And so I love that. So I really encourage you, find your fragrance of your own. It doesn't matter if it's a baby or not, you can build up. And yeah, so I'm a huge fan. I use these too. This is the Daisy Love. This is perfect. I love that. This is the Carolina Herrera. Love that. So sometimes these cost as much as the bottle. So if you just want the bottle, get the bottle. But I like having them on the go as well. And I like to spray my truck and just all this stuff. So thank you for being here on my channel today. I really appreciate you. You're awesome. Take a few seconds and just hit that subscribe button. That really, really means a lot to me and my channel, as we are just constantly pushing out great content that you request. I'm all about doing things that I enjoy putting out, but I really listen to you too. And I get excited to create videos for you that I know are going to be super helpful. I'll see you in the next one. Leave me a comment below. Hit the thumbs up so I know that you like this content, and I cannot wait to see you in the next upload. Mwah!